Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dirty Pelican Podcast. This is Nick Adams.
And I'm Devin Cardwell, and we'd like to welcome y'all to the very first episode of our podcast.
How do they say it? The inaugural? Inaugural?
Yeah,
I'm not good with that word.
Inaugural.
I've tried to say. I try to be
inaugural.
good with that. I'm not good with that word.
I think it's inaugural.
Well, it's the first episde. For sure.
Yeah,
110%.
yeah.
That's the way I'm going to go ahead and say it.
Yeah, nothing around that.
Yeah, man. So try to start off with how we got started a little bit with that whole idea of this.
Yeah, so we've been talking about it, guys, for an exceptionally long time. Thank God we didn't start when we were talking about it because we didn't know shit from shit. So, I mean, I knew a lot about basketball, and that's it. Nick actually had a super fucking successful WWE YouTube page, so he knew a lot about
I didn't know shit about sports besides fake ones. And I knew a lot about WWE. I watched since 1999, religiously. I had a YouTube channel called Extreme Nick 09. Unfortunately, those videos still exist all across
so everybody
YouTube.
go check that, by the way. Extreme Nick 09 on YouTube.
Super unfortunate. I wouldn't do it if I were y'all, but I had 3,000 subscribers and I had some pretty successful stuff on there whenever I was doing it, which is kind of what brought me to part of this idea, enjoying talking about sports, especially since playing fantasy, learning football, watching basketball with you over the past few years, and then learning a lot about UFC as well.
Yeah, fantasy was a big help for me with, just learning football, learning the game of football. Of course, you play Madden, so you get this and that, but you play Madden, you pick your favorite players, you don't learn shit else. Fantasy, you have to learn the backups and everything, and it's been, fantasy's been informative.
Actually, before fantasy 3 years ago, I had watched one football game, and that was when the Saints won the Super Bowl
in 2007.
Something, and I had loosely watched that game. I was on the couch loosely watching that, and I had no care in the world about football at the time.
Super Bowl?
Every time, even the Saints winning.
Biggest game of Louisiana's fucking history.
And then
2010.
Take us to last year when the missed call happens with the Rams, and we have all of us our heart was broken. So it's a big difference fantasy's brought over the past few years.
Even the year before with the Stephon Diggs burning.
It's we don't catch a break. We don't catch a break. Yeah, so I went from absolutely not caring about us winning the Super Bowl to being heartbroken whenever we lose and don't make it to the Super Bowl. So definitely a change.
As a bigger basketball fan, you were damn near as excited about the Damian Lillard shot over PG as I was.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was a super dope time. Just that all happened because money was getting bet a few years back. Me and Keith had bet money on the finals when LeBron and Cavaliers came back from the 3-1 deficit.
I bet you never got paid for that.
Not once, man. Crazy K, if you're listening,
you still owe him for that finals.
But so that's how the basketball thing started. Ethan Watson got me into watching UFC back in high school, and then like I said, WWE since 1999. And that's the brunt of it, though. No baseball for me. Hockey, I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, guys. I hate it, and we're gonna try to improve that because we want to reach everyone. And there's a ton of baseball fans. I cannot sit down and watch a baseball game, and I'm actually gonna try to improve with that because that takes from the viewers and makes us less broad, which is something that we're not gonna try to do. Mm-hmm. But right now, and for the foreseeable future, you're not getting baseball.
I think us going to a game would help out.
No. Now, I've been to baseball games.
Oh, see, I've never been to one.
Fucking fun. Super fun.
I've been, Charles from work had invited me to one, and I really want to go just to see if that would kind of spark something in me to make me want to actually watch it more.
No, it doesn't.
Stuff like that.
It doesn't. They're super
even
fun
close.
in person. I've been to a bunch of minor league games and stuff.
Yeah.
Super fun in person. Baseball hot dogs and stuff, they are as good as advertised. But, no, I can't sit down.
You've tried the beer. I'm sure you have.
No, but speaking of beer, I have a little surprise for us that we're going to try to do on the pod. Hopefully we're going to do this on the pod weekly.
Oh, Lord.
We,
not to mention, we were a little fancy, aren't we?
Yeah, a little fancy.
Oh.
We're actually trying to start to get into some wine.
What the hell is Barefoot?
Yeah,
hey, a sweet red blend?
Yeah,
we're getting classy.
Well,
not bad.
Also, try to get the bitchiest beer. wine I could get because
if it has any sort of alcoholic taste, you won't be sipping too much of it today.
No, not at all. And
I could take out the bottle.
I have this wine opener, guys, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I have this because I know he can use it, and I don't know how.
I can get it open.
Yeah, so let's.
It's in my skill set. It's in my skill set.
Crack this open.
Olive Garden bartender. I'm supposed to know. Watch me embarrass myself and spill it all over my damn expensive ass laptop. I'm gonna try to do it from the side over here so I don't fuck up.
Please don't spill my $10 bottle of wine.
on my like $3,000 laptop.
So yeah, hopefully we're gonna try to do that every show. I'm actually trying to get into wine. By the way, probably will never reach him, but if it does, shout out Josh Hart for the idea and his Lighthearted podcast, which y'all should definitely check that out too. But yeah, Josh drinks wine on most of them, which of course his bottles aren't $10, probably a few more zeros. But as the money comes in, the wine will come in, and so that's where I got that idea.
In a beautifully executed
Thank God.
open wine, yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God things didn't go south just now. I probably should talk in the microphone a little bit better.
Like we said, guys, first episode.
We're learning.
Please cut us some slack.
I'm
it
gonna be
will
classy.
improve.
You want to do a little toast celebration?
Yeah, we're definitely going to do a little toast to the first episode of the pod. So a toast to the first episode of the pod. And I would like to...
I want to see your face just in case it's terrible to you.
No, the viewers aren't going to know that.
It's absolutely delightful.
It's absolutely delicious. That might be my
Shout out to
glass.
Barefoot. Shout out to Barefoot.
No, yeah, really.
You said that might be your last glass?
Well, you know. Might have to start chasing it with a little bit of... You know, let's.
You want to mix your wine with juice?
Not going to chase any wine, guys.
I would hope not. Let's
wine.
not do that. I don't want us to have those kind of viewers that are thinking that's how we are.
Yeah. By the way, guys, that's how I am. But I'm going to change for y'all. So let's get into.
You want to actually talk about a topic now? See what happens.
Well, I was actually going to try to let's get into what we hope to accomplish with the podcast.
Okay.
Like, you know, we had talked about potential interviews with certain personalities. So elaborate on that.
Yeah. All right. So a few weeks ago, we had that phone call about 5 hours. We talked for a long, extended amount of time.
5-6 hour long phone call.
Yeah. It was funny. I didn't tell you something about that. My dad woke up. I was staying at my parents at that time. I went over there to work with my dad. He woke up in the middle of the night and thought that I was talking business with a woman. He heard your voice and said... He told my mom, they said that in the middle of the night, my dad said, he's up talking to a woman about some type of business. And it was you talking about the podcast.
The disappointment that you feel your dad with.
I know. It sucks.
Fucking damn near daily, so.
But I'll elaborate. Okay, so some of the ideas we had was, we don't know if this is going to be the name for it. We had talked about doing interviews with local legends, which... Local legends would be consisting of local entrepreneurs who are doing things a little bit different around town. They kind of stand out in their different skill sets and their different ways. And we just want to sit down with these guys, let them express, what led them there, what brought them to do that, if that's their dream. You just kind of just do a little interview with them and have that be like one episode per month of our show.
Just to kind of give like a themed episode, kind of. Of course, we're going to cover sports topics every episode. But the local legend episode, like you said, if that's what we call it. I mean, by the way, guys, if y'all dig the local legend name,
if y'all have any suggestions, any suggestions would be awesome too. If y'all want to kind of name it something different,
anything is welcome.
Yeah, it's just going to be just shining some light on our area, the West Monroe area, Monroe area, just all this whole entire area, the Arklamas, ain't that what it's called? The Arklamas,
and
there it is.
For the people that are from the area, there are super dope people that you may not know, like. I don't know, and shout out to Two Dudes Barbecue.
Yeah, shout out to Two Dudes.
What is it? Two Dudes
Brew and Q. Yeah, Brew and Q.
Shout out to them. They actually got started. If you go in, they have their whole story on the back of the menu. But they actually got started as two buddies doing a podcast. Yeah. And they started doing now they have a restaurant downtown together. And
not to mention that them doing that's part of the reason that we started doing it. I mean, 100%. Like inspired us to actually think we could pull it off.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for we had covered years, but. When we seen these two men who did exactly what we've talked about doing, it was like, damn.
It's possible, and somebody did it right in front of us, near us.
Definitely.
And but there's restaurants we go to, hole in the wall places. There's other businesses, Edges. Shout out to Zach Rayborn over there at keeping us cut, making sure we look all right. Guys like that, which we're gonna end up hitting up and seeing if they'll want to work with us and see if we can do some kind of co-branding things there with them with those interviews. And we also are going to have themed, not really always themed, but other type of episodes. We're going to bring in our friends from our fantasy group, other friends that are doing fun things, or just guys that love sports we do.
We actually have other friends that have other podcasts, so that would give you, if they're maybe touching on something you're interested in that we're not, that'd give us a little blend of two different worlds and hopefully be attractive to you guys. Also, shit, I was about to say something. Oh yeah, not only is it going to be entrepreneurs, we're going to try to hit that for sure because there's a couple of people that pique our interest, but hopefully, God willing, we're going to reach out and get some local college athletes, local high school athletes that are on a national radar, and coaches and et cetera, et cetera. You know, we're hoping to have a couple of different worlds for you guys to be interested in.
Yeah. I think it's going to be super interesting, man. It's going to be cool for us to get out there and talk to these people. Like me personally, I've never been able to be around sports, you know, growing up around these college or these guys from high school that have chances of being something huge one day. So it's going to be cool for me to be able to experience that stuff with you, knowing that you kind of lived that life whenever you played varsity basketball and stuff. So that's super dope. And also, he works off. We're going to be doing probably whenever we can't do one live like we're doing right now on camera together. We're going to be doing a kind of like a Skyped webcam version of the podcast, maybe once every month as well, just whenever we're not around each other.
Yeah, we're going to try and bear with us because from the beginning, like we've covered, and I want to reiterate this as much as possible. This is our first time ever doing anything like this. So we're going to try to bring you guys weekly content. Like he said, I'm here 1 week and I'm gone for 2. So it's going to be tough, but hopefully we can get that content to you guys weekly and create a fan base.
Yeah, and actually speaking on that a little bit, touching up on that, and going to move on to one of our topics here. We just put the page up on Facebook.
Right.
We hit over 100 likes the first day from our friends and family and people supporting us. So
by
super
the way,
cool.
Yes, super cool. Thank you guys.
Yeah, appreciate it very much.
If you even just click the like button because we sent you an invite, because of course, you know, we're promoting. We sent the invites. Thank you for taking that 2 seconds that 9 out of 10 people didn't take.
And what's super cool is like almost like 99.9% of the people who liked the page follow the page and is going to get updates from us and whenever we upload them. And it's just super cool. You know, there are people that are going to be out there hopefully listening, and it's just cool to have people that are supporting us like that regardless of what we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Even on Instagram, I want to say we have 16 followers.
Something like that.
16 followers, which is not a lot, of course, we know that, but 16 followers with 0 content. So,
they don't even know what we are. They don't even really know it's us unless you really just know us.
I mean,
you know?
The bio was put up 2 days ago, and we had the 16 followers before then. So, and they didn't have us. So, shout out to all 16 of you guys for fucking with us for no reason.
Just shout out to Hayden.
Yeah,
Hayden from our fantasy group, because every single person that followed us that we didn't know, he was associated with in some type of way. So which is random, but thanks to him.
Shout out to Hayden. He's the little brother of the commissioner of our fantasy group, Ethan.
Yep.
Hopefully, eventually, we'll have one, if not both of them on the show. But yeah, Hayden, I appreciate it, dude.
Yeah, for real, man. I don't know if it's word of mouth or just by some happenstance it happened.
If you're having to bend
whatever.
Somebody's arm backwards to get them to follow us, dude. Whatever you do,
man,
it's
appreciate that.
Yeah, keep it up. But
do you want to get into a first actual topic, or do you want to move in? We did do a draft last night. We can speak about eventually, or whenever.
We definitely did that. And now, do you want to start with the draft? We could definitely.
We can start with the draft and just kind of speak up on it. This is we have a reoccurring league now. This is the first time we did a keepers. I've never done keepers before.
Right,
yeah. I've played for 3 or 4 years now and had like 5 leagues I've been in, and this is the first time I've ever done keepers. So it's a super interesting draft. I did 3 leagues this year. And that was definitely
better man than me.
Dude, it was. I don't like it either, but
can't do it.
It was definitely the most intriguing draft because it was so different. I mean, you're not looking for the top guys. You're not looking to get an Alvin Kamara. You're looking to try to get a Giovanni Bernard later. Somebody random.
For Alvin, we can talk trades.
No, I could talk trades all day. I mean, I told you I'd give you who was it? Chris Carson and Amari Cooper or something like that. Just trying to.
We're done talking trades.
Okay.
No, yeah. But so we did the draft, and like you said, the keeper was definitely different. This is my 3rd year playing fantasy. The first year we didn't do a keeper. I won the championship. Shout out Todd Gurley. Thank you.
It's not. I wasn't happy. I was 5th.
Yeah, he
place
doesn't really have the best.
I'm a good 5th, 6th place guy in a 12-person league.
Middle of the pack on paper. On paper,
I look good.
Contender.
I always look good. It's just they never deliver for me.
So I won championship first year, and then we joined this league, which is essentially, was it exactly the same people?
It's pretty much the same people. I mean,
we added a few here. We added Hayden. We added
guys.
Chase.
Guys came and went. Certain ones, not very many though.
And so we added a few people. I made it to the championship last year. Lost. Also, shout out Phillip Rivers. Thank you for
costing you the whole thing.
I don't know what you did that.
Strictly the reason that I drafted away from him and picked Kirk Cousins.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, Phillip.
He let you down.
Sorry,
I said, fuck
bro,
that.
you lost me the championship to go and the chance to go back to back. So yes, who'd I go with this year?
You picked up oh wow, your quarterback.
Yeah, I have two actually. I picked two good ones. Pretty. Close
Wow,
to one
who are
another
your
because
quarterbacks?
I was so afraid of Phillip. I'm about to check it out because I don't know. I picked Jared Goff.
Not bad at all.
Shout
Yeah,
out
not
to
bad to
Jared.
him.
Please help me. And if you don't, I got Mitch Trubisky, deceivingly mobile quarterback.
I had him last year, and 'cause I call what I go through as quarterback quarrels. It's called I lose every year because of my quarterback. I picked Matt Ryan up 2 years ago after his Super Bowl performance, and he shit all over me. And then last year, I pick up Deshaun Watson and Jimmy Garoppolo.
It's to the point of Deshaun. To most people in y'all's league, I don't know how y'all are doing in your league. Deshaun's top 5.
Not a bad quarterback.
We count negative points on sacks, which
I disagree with only because the offensive line, it's not always his fault, but so he would run up 40 something points and then get knocked down damn near 30 something points. I mean, getting like sacked 10 times a game. And so there wasn't much I could do. And then Garoppolo got injured immediately, which led me to get Mr. Trubisky about halfway through the season. And he did really good. He did really good for me. And it didn't give me the comeback I needed, but it got me in the playoffs, and I still lost.
That's why I nabbed Jared and Mitch, because Phillip broke my heart.
I went and got the devil, man, the most hated on Tom Brady.
You did. I mean, that's a double.
He's weird.
Sword.
He's weird.
There's people like me who I'm not a fan, but you have to be a fan of greatness.
Yeah.
And I got by far the greatest football player of all time. I needed
consistency at that position. I figured he'd give me something. And then I think Kirk Cousins was my second pick on that. And
again, not a bad quarterback.
No.
I don't.
He had problems first year in Minnesota, but I think he's going to be a lot sharper this year than he was.
I don't know how you don't do good. You got Dalvin Cook out of the backfield, Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen,
Yeah, I mean, and Rudolph isn't a bad tight end either.
Rudolph too,
and it's just I think Kirk Cousins gets in his head. He's an emotional tight.
Kirk Cousins might be his own worst enemy.
Yeah, he was weird, and I don't know. He wanted to get paid. He got paid. Played terribly, and
sometimes that's how it happens.
It's really weird.
You get the bag, and you already got the bag.
Yeah, there's nothing to really. There's no reason to be better. You have all the money you need.
I mean, these guaranteed contracts now are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
People are guaranteed $40 million. Okay, so you just signed your name to guarantee your kids.
Oh yeah, you're set.
So, I mean,
Didn't Michael Thomas? He did the 100 million, but how much was the guarantee? Was it 60?
61.
$61 million guaranteed. Oh, that's 61,000. Is that what I said? 61 million guarantee. That's what I'm saying. Like, you just set up your whole entire lineage of humans. Like, you just set up your whole entire next 3 generations of family members.
It's
so
a 5-year with 61 million guaranteed. The contract now makes him the NFL's highest paid receiver until they finally pay Julio.
Yeah, Amari's gonna have a contract. I don't see it being higher than Thomas's, but maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, the way the contracts are, man, it's like your highest paid receiver in history for 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. And then because you're just laying the groundwork for the next guy to get his contract in place, just to see where it's moving at.
Which I completely support. Also, I like to the players, get your bag because of especially the CTE things and stuff like that. Like, get your bag, play. And I respect Calvin Johnson for what he did a few years back. I'm not sure if you were a football fan then.
I don't recognize it.
Megatron, one of the best wide receivers of all time. Not numbers wise, because he played 8-9 years for the Detroit Lions. That's it, and retired in his prime, and got his bag, got out before he got CTE or anything like that, and living a good life.
All right, guys, we're going to do a quick pause here. Just a quick pause for a word from our sponsor, Ree's River Rats. So we'll be right back.
Hey, y'all. This is Ree's with Ree's River Rats Water Park, located down here off of River Rat Road in West Monroe. With the starting of school coming back up, come out for one last blowout of the season with our back-to-school special for only $9.99. Hope to see all you rats down there. See ya!
Okay, so we're back, guys. That was a message from our sponsor / studio technician and Ree's River Rat.
Shout out Refill. I'm going to go for the second glass.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, I know you're a little slower on that.
Yeah, we're gonna also, guys. If you maybe see some panic again, first episode. We have a camera, super uber expensive camera, that made a little beep, and that's probably where you've seen that panic from us. So if there's little slight intermissions here and there, we apologize.
We think the camera is turning off due to inactivity. The battery's still good, so it's just a learning situation.
Learning curve. Please bear with us. But like we were saying, Megatron retired before the CTE, and I'm all for the players. Like, get your bag, and if you want to get out. I'm not for the players like Antonio Brown.
No, not at all, man. And I hate the way he turned out. To me, because
the thing that's crazy to me, I cannot remember what sports host was saying this. He came out of high school in South Florida with very little offers.
Yeah.
Had to go to Central Michigan, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it Shannon Sharp that said something like that? It might have been. I'm not sure either.
It was Shannon. I mean, they probably have. They all talk about the same thing. But he had so much hunger, went to a small school, beat out Mike Wallace, who at the time was a very good receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's like, you forgot where you came from.
Yeah.
And yes, you get that money, and you are different. You have to change. But come on, AB, you ain't gotta be a bitch.
Because now he's just nitpicking. Now he's just complaining about pretty much. I understand the frostbitten foot stuff. That sounds terrible. I don't know what that feels like.
You can't play.
That's understandable. This helmet thing has gotten out of hand. The shit talk he did to Juju Smith-Schuster was bullshit.
Now you also took that personal.
That's because I like him.
Big Juju fan.
I like Juju a lot, and I just felt it was random. And Juju, he made fun of Juju for sending him a message on social media asking for like pointers or asking for advice, which made him look worse.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It just I don't care for what he turned into at all lately.
I don't either. I mean, not to discredit from that man's talent.
No, he's great.
I follow him on social media, and whether he's out there playing or not, he is working.
You know, I unfollowed him, right?
Oh, AB, if you're watching this, you give a damn.
I got super emotional about the Juju stuff, and I said,
you unfollowed him quite a while ago.
I don't have no reason to keep following him right now. Yeah, I had to get rid of him.
Well, I follow him, and that man's working, and his work ethic is, from what you see on social media, which of course is social media, but damn near unrivaled. So I mean, keep on working, AB. Like, good job, but please shut the hell up.
Like, just stop bitching. Play, man. Just
wear the helmet they tell you to wear, and I mean, you're one of the best receivers in the league. Wear the helmet.
One of the best receivers ever. If he just does what he's supposed to do and just keep playing great.
Straight up.
But another guy coming from Pittsburgh, was at Pittsburgh that I'm actually excited to see play with Sam Darnold is Le'Veon Bell.
Yes,
that's a super intriguing
and I
team
put
right there.
Le'Veon in the AB crybaby bitch category, and I regret that. I want to backtrack on that. I did it too soon. He wanted his bag.
Yeah,
they wouldn't give it to him, so I changed on that. Kind of hypocritical, but yeah, I'm super excited about Le'Veon too. I'm excited about the Jets, honestly.
I mean, I'm excited. Like, there's like 4 or 5 teams that stand out like that, though. The Browns obviously being what I would say is like the ones that stand out the most of explosiveness they could be.
The Browns are the Lakers of the NFL right now.
Yeah, it's like a crazy fun, like the possibilities and how good the ceiling is so high of how good they can be.
I mean, the media coverage, just because Baker Mayfield, big name. And
yeah, exactly.
Baker's not going to let you forget who he is. Baker talks.
Oh, no.
Odell Beckham, maybe the most high-profile name in the NFL.
Yeah.
Juice Landry. They got
Njoku. You have Kareem Hunt coming
after that big-ass scandal. So
and Nick Chubb being their starting running back. I mean, you just have a lot of weapons over on that team.
Well, then start.
And we're back, guys. Another camera technical difficulty that we seem to be running into. We'll probably cut this part out.
Yeah, probably. If we do leave it in there, though, at least y'all are getting this raw and uncut.
Like Monday nights, baby.
Anyways, back to football. We're talking about exciting teams, and you said you might be excited for the Ravens.
I wanted to mention the Baltimore Ravens because Lamar Jackson.
I am excited for Lamar Jackson.
That's exciting
as well.
by itself. And then they also got one of our boys, Mark Ingram, over there now. And I think that him and Lamar Jackson, the rushing attack from that team, you're never going to know where it's coming from. That's what's exciting to me about the team.
Well, I've heard Lamar, too, is he's drastically improved as a throwing quarterback, which, I mean, it's weird to say a throwing quarterback, but
yeah,
reports have said he's a much better pocket passer. So I'm excited for them too, and I'm not real sure of their wide receiver core.
I was literally trying to think of who they even have.
Do they have?
Where did Crabtree end up
John Brown or is it
going?
Marquise Brown?
John Brown. Is
John
who,
Brown?
I think
See,
that.
I like him for sure.
Is he still on the Ravens?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. A lot of people jumped ship and went different places during free agency, so I don't know where they went.
Like you guys can tell, we're football fans, not football connoisseurs. So,
They had Crabtree last year, but I think he went somewhere else.
yeah, I'm pretty sure Crabtree's gone for sure. Yeah, John Brown's for the Bills, actually.
Yeah, see, a lot of weird stuff happened. Cole Beasley went to the Bills, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm not actually a fan of the Cole. Like, I don't think the Cole Beasley acquisition's gonna matter.
No, he's not going to make a huge difference. He only caught he was good like Willie Snead was for the Saints, where he'd catch important passes when they were thrown to him at really
you're
deep
good
times.
in that offense.
Yeah, like 3rd and down, and stuff like that. Like 3rd and they needed to convert or whatever, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Marquise Brown is the wide receiver for Baltimore.
Never heard of him in my life.
Well,
never heard of him in my whole entire life.
He's not bad. I mean, had a really good high school career. He was actually on the Oklahoma Sooners with Baker Mayfield.
You know who'd be a fan of that? Good old J.R. Jim Ross.
Oh.
Boomer Sooner.
Yeah.
Sooner? Boomer
Sooner.
I lost about 14 fans just now.
Anybody who was a fan of that saying, please keep watching. Yeah, no, Baltimore's exciting. The Jets are exciting. The Browns, clearly we covered that. They're exciting.
Saints are exciting.
Yeah, Saints are ridiculous. That offense is ridiculous.
I think that the acquisition of Jared Cook is going to change the whole entire game for us.
I mean, it just adds us. Benjamin Watson was not bad, but Jared Cook is a much more viable vertical threat.
Yeah, I mean, he's huge. And me and Ree from Ree's River Rats last night actually watched a bunch of highlight videos of a bunch of Jared Cook highlights, and even just from the preseason, like not from the preseason games, but like from the training camp and stuff like that. We watched a bunch of those, and he just looks huge, man. It looks like him and Drew are already kind of like connecting on a bunch of different levels. He's catching, contested passes, so
that's Drew
looks
also,
interesting.
At this point in his career, not that he can't air that bitch out, but at this point in his career, those 15, 20-yard passes down the middle, that's Jared Cook's bread and butter.
Weird enough, that's what you would think he was doing. In practice, he was going long. He was going deep every time to Jared Cook. So it was weird. That's what I was telling Ree last night, that we thought it was crazy that he was going for the deep passes, but that just opens up a huge target downfield, like you said, for the short 15-yard cross pass. 9
times out of 10 is going to be matched up with a linebacker who probably can't keep up with him.
Exactly. So he's going to be a threat in general. And then we also picked up Latavius Murray in place of Mark Ingram. I'm not as excited about him.
He'll be a Mark Ingram type, possibly less effective.
Less agile than Mark Ingram.
I'm a fan of the Latavius Murray pickup. I know you aren't. I mean, it's more.
It's not that I'm not a fan of him. I liked Mark Ingram, and so it sucks when you try to replace somebody. I'm like, well, damn, because I was a fan of Ingram, but he'll be able to punch it in the goal line. I mean, he's big, he's powerful. He'll be able to punch it in. I just don't see him being as agile as Ingram and being able to move like Ingram because he's much bigger than him. But he'll be able to do something different. So I'm not mad about that.
The bromance that Ingram and Kamara had.
Yeah, that was cool.
It does suck to lose.
It was like at the end of Toy Story 4 when Woody and Buzz split.
I hadn't seen it. That's the new one?
What?
That's the new one?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Any Toy Story fans, sorry about
no,
that.
not at all. Not at all.
And
that was the camera again? That's good. You can call me a loner, I like to call myself a modern day Johnny Cash. I'm not much of a stoner, but you can smell the whiskey dripping out from my glass. A fish out of water, a pool full of liquor, some rapping in an empty flask. That's a day in the life of an artist. Name out of my women, don't get attacked. All right. Well, let's move to a topic that I can relate to really well, something I can talk about a lot. Let's talk about the move from WWE Network to the USA channel for NXT.
Big.
WWE NXT, huge for all the talent there.
Might be the best WWE content on TV.
Probably going to be, like I'd said when we first found out, the best night for wrestling in general.
Oh, yeah.
Simply because AEW will also be probably in the same exact time slot on the same exact night on a different channel.
TNT, correct?
Yeah, TNT. And that's going to be the biggest night of wrestling to watch. Raw and SmackDown are established with what they already are. They have the big star name, so it doesn't make sense for AEW to necessarily go head-to-head with them. But NXT versus the AEW thing is a perfect thing for both sides of it, I think.
It'll be the night with the best wrestling.
Wrestling fans is almost like casual fans can watch Mondays and Tuesdays.
Correct.
And core wrestling fans are going to blow it up on Wednesdays and going to watch both shows. And what do you think? Who do you think is going to be the initial pool, or what do you think is going to end up happening with all that?
I think initially
I'll do a third since we're talking about wrestling. You're not drinking it.
I think initially AEW is going to get the initial fans.
Yeah.
Just simply because they started their promoting earlier and et cetera, et cetera. Not to mention, like you said, casual fans will recognize Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Maybe even Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
Like, casual fans will recognize that.
Cody Rhodes,
that's right. Yeah. Goldust, is he going? He's not going by Goldust. He's going by Dustin.
He's going by Dustin Rhodes. I don't know if he's a full-time performer yet. I don't necessarily know his story with
They'll
him.
recognize Dean Ambrose, who
for sure
will be going by what's his
John Moxley.
John Moxley.
Yeah.
So I think they will get the casual fans as well. Whereas NXT, you have to be a fan.
Yeah.
If you haven't been on the WWE Network watching NXT, you don't hardly know who's there.
That is the big difference that I was going to bring up as well. The talent, AEW may be new and they have to win things over, but at the same time, they have more name talent. I mean, there's Adam Cole and there's the guys over there in NXT that people may know of, but they only know of them.
Gargano,
I think he's getting moved up. Well, Velveteen Dream, huge guy. Velveteen Dream is.
Weirdly.
Yeah, but he's interesting. I mean, I remember going to live events years ago when he was first in NXT, and I kept seeing shirts with the big V on them, and I had no idea who the hell it was. And it was for him.
Definitely reaches possibly he's an extreme character who can reach a broad audience of you're a wrestling fan, so of course you're gonna like him, but who he is he's
practically Macho Man Randy Savage. He has so much Macho Man Randy Savage in his gimmick. It's crazy. And
but it works because it hasn't happened since Macho Man.
Yep.
So.
Well, another dude, Jay Lethal from TNA, actually had a whole gimmick based off Macho Man.
TNA.
Yeah, I did say that.
That's where it starts and stops. That's where it starts and stops.
Or Impact Wrestling, I think that's what it's called now.
Yeah,
I think it is Impact. But
I haven't watched them since it was Samoa Joe and AJ going for the belt. And
X Division titles and stuff.
Wasn't those cool matches they had?
Ultimate X match.
Yeah, they were actually dope.
Those were sick. Those were sick matches. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I think ratings, like you said, AEW is probably gonna. It's also the new thing to watch. People have been watching NXT. AEW is a brand new product. They're gonna kill it in ratings at first, but it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm excited. They said that there's nothing's gonna change from NXT off TV to NXT on TV.
Yeah.
We hope that that's true.
Vince McMahon, please don't touch anything. Please. Because it is the best show they have right now. Yeah. And that's because his hands aren't on it. I mean, I'm sure they're on it, but...
Yeah, but he's going to... if anything, that dude needs to worry about the XFL, which actually today, it may have already been done. Today was going to be the announcement of all the teams for XFL. Let me check into it real quick, because that was actually supposed to... I know they uploaded a picture saying today was the day.
Well, shout out to... Since we're talking about that, shout out to Jackson Hayes, the center who got round 1, pick 8.
They did.
By the Pelicans. Cool. Jackson Hayes' dad, a former Bengals assistant coach, is the head coach of St. Louis's XFL team.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's really...
You want to hear these teams?
Let me hear them.
Okay. We have the Dallas Renegades.
Is that okay?
We have the Dallas Renegades, the St. Louis Battlehawks.
Yeah, that's who Jackson's dad coaches.
The Houston Roughnecks. The LA Wildcats, the Seattle Dragons, Tampa Bay Vipers. It looks like it says either DC or OC Defenders, so either Oklahoma City or Washington DC Defenders.
Probably DC.
And the New York Guardians. And look at the logos; they're actually rather sick.
Oh, we need to post this in the video that we upload.
Pretty sick.
From the logos. Man, I don't know. Well, that Dallas Renegade
I'm about to say, I'm a Dallas Renegade fan already.
That Dallas Renegade logo looks like a logo you used to make on Madden when you create your own team.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
probably
Madden,
is.
Madden, that's copyright. Take it. I don't. I like the Guardians and St. Louis Battlehawks. The Battlehawks logo is dope.
Let me see. I looked at them but didn't look at them. The Guardians looks dope. I like the Tampa Bay Vipers.
Yeah, theirs
too.
is cool. It's simple but cool.
Interesting.
We'll have to post that in the video. Let everybody see that.
Yeah, that's super interesting though. I'm glad that we looked at that.
The XFL, man. I'm so. Ugh.
This is how I explain it. This is how I feel about it. It's a different time and place, different world. Things can almost solely exist through social media and through its own forms of niche fan bases now, just because of the internet. That the XFL, if it was ever going to work, it is now.
Yeah, I know. I agree with that. I agree.
And
like
something
you said,
else.
with all the platforms that they can promote on, there's so many people they can reach now.
Yeah, and something else that's cool is that it's a springtime league. It's not during the NFL season.
That helps them a lot.
At least that's from what I understood somebody say, because Colin Cowherd said there is room for a springtime league.
Oh, for sure.
And so if you're not watching NFL, you're a huge football fan, you don't like basketball, what will you watch? You're going to watch XFL. Because why wouldn't you?
If you don't like basketball.
If you don't like basketball.
You hadn't been watching basketball.
Well,
especially now. This is a time to be a basketball fan.
The teams are the most interesting teams, almost like seems like the most balanced since I've ever watched it, obviously, because Golden State's not Golden State.
I feel like it's the most balanced since the Big Three in Boston, which was 2007, I think, when they went over there. Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. Since then, it's always been a Big Three. Everybody throws it on Bron that he started the Big Three with CB and D-Wade.
Yeah.
It was KG, Ray, and Paul first. But since then, it's like I said, late 2000s, you don't know who's going to win. Golden State's
it could be anyone.
Good. Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, they added Hassan Whiteside.
You have Westbrook now teaming up with James Harden,
and they didn't really. They still have Clint Capella. They have PJ Tucker.
Yeah,
they
still a good
Gordon.
team. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George,
and that's.
Did you see Tyronn Lue signed? Ty Lue signed with them,
for Doc Rivers,
which is disgusting slap in the face. That's a little And
LA could have signed him, so I say that's on the Lakers.
LeBron and Anthony Davis, obviously.
And the supporting cast, of course, the news of Boogie Cousins, that sucks.
That's trash for us.
I heard they're bringing in Dwight and Joakim Noah, and I had seen another center. I can't remember that other center's name. I think this would be a chance for Dwight to reinvent himself, and reinvent's not a good word. Just to kind of step away from the basket a little bit. Of course, not to the 3-point line, but in this could be a role where he feels and finally gets a ring and becomes relevant again. I think he could work on that team. I mean, we got the exciting.
We still have
Pelicans, dude.
The Pelicans may be, to me, the most exciting. Well, besides LeBron and to see what they do, but to me, the most exciting young wild cardish type team that you don't know. Kind of like how we said earlier about Ravens and Cleveland. The ceiling's so high of what they can possibly accomplish together. So it's exciting to see where they're going to go.
And the thing that's good about them, if they'll buy in. I mean, we know personally, New Orleans culture is unmatched, in my opinion.
No, 100%.
If they will buy into the team and the city, everybody's going to be behind them. Yeah. And if we have that young core for 4 or 5 years, man, I think we're going to be dangerous.
There's no way they won't be. They'll learn how to play together. It's the same thing I say about Cleveland. Same thing. I feel like everyone's so young that they're just going to play differently. Like they're going to be willing to do things, try things. Like it's going to be a different than having the older guys on the teams.
Yeah,
they're going to be able to develop together and learn together.
A lot of personalities will be suppressed.
Yeah,
and that's good for team sports.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm super pumped about the Pelicans.
Also, 76ers still got Embiid, Simmons. They lose Jimmy Butler he went to the Heat.
The Heat, yeah. But they signed Al Horford.
Yeah, they did.
And they kept Tobias Harris. So
and
they still have
the Nets.
The net.
Durant.
KD's out this year.
Yeah, we still got
next year they'll have Kyrie, KD, and DeAndre Jordan. Where were we at?
Well, we were talking about the by the way, guys, we experienced some more technical difficulties. The battery life on the camera that we have keeps running out, so we're just going to do the rest of the podcast without the visual. But check out our nice logo.
Yeah.
Sweet, right?
We'll have the logo up. So we apologize for this, and it is not going to be a reoccurring issue. We're going to get to the bottom of it, for lack of better
for sure,
terms, and get better content for sure. Well, not really content.
Not
better
content, just
visuals.
better. Long story short, we're just going to figure out the problems and we're going to straighten them out. I mean, we'll straighten that part out.
Yeah. So back to we had discussed. Excited about the Pelicans. You brought up the Philly team, Philly 76ers. A bunch of exciting NBA teams. This is a good year for NBA basketball, and currently, I know you're not too into it, but currently we have the FIBA World Cup's about to start. So that's normally I would not care. I mean, I would care, I'd watch it, and definitely interested. There's a lot of good teams across the world. Australia here recently has become a very good team, but I'm worried this year that our team may not win gold since the Redeem team in the Olympics. I think don't fact check me, but I think we've won gold since then. But man, a lot of top tier players are dropping out. We had the scrimmage the other day against. I mean, there were some G League players and etc. And we lost 36-17.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
Yeah, so that's not a good feeling.
Not a good sign.
But we have went and we played. Who did we play? I'm trying to check this. It was just a pickup. Anyway, I can't remember what country we played a pickup on, but we won that. We won that pickup game. It's like a scrimmage game, pretty much. So they it actually tips off in 9 days. So we'll get to it. It's in China, and hopefully win another gold medal.
Yeah, hopefully pull it off since a lot of our star players we would have is messing with their schedules too much, right? I did see something about that, saying that a lot of players,
like we had covered earlier, how the NBA is so even. They want to focus on their teams.
Yeah, focus on their season.
That everyone can win a title.
Yeah.
I mean, Charlotte. We're not talking to you. New York Knicks. We're not talking to you.
Isn't Kyle Kuzma playing for him? Is he on team?
Kuz is.
I know
playing.
Kuz is
playing. Also Cleveland. Not talking to you. You don't have a chance. But yeah, no. Kuz is playing. I actually think. Let me fact check this, but I think De'Aaron Fox dropped out, the point guard for the Sacramento Kings, who I absolutely love.
Yeah.
But I think he dropped out. I hope I'm wrong. Actually, I'm on the roster now.
Well, I will say while he's looking for that I'm going back to something we had mentioned earlier. The XFL teams not only dropped, but each one of them have dropped with about a minute-long promo video on their Instagram, which was super dope, interesting. Gives each team a little bit more character as well. So I imagine, once that league starts, it also said February 2020, so it's actually not too far away. So once that starts, I'm sure we'll be covering a lot of things for that as well.
Yeah, so De'Aaron dropped. He did drop.
I
would say our best player, we do have Donovan Mitchell from the Jazz. He's playing. We have Kemba Walker.
Not bad
playing.
at all. Another guy to watch out for now that he's on the Celtics.
Oh, yeah, the Celtics for sure.
Yep.
Maybe Kemba's the fit that Kyrie wasn't. But, yeah, we have Kemba, Kyrie, Chris Middleton from the Bucks, Kuz, Jaylen Brown from the Celtics. We have Harrison Barnes from the Kings.
We still have a good team.
Oh, we have a good team. It's just, man, we're not the only good team. Like I said, Australia is good.
Yeah.
And Spain is always good. So it's just we're not good enough to make me say
we definitely gonna win it. Yeah.
But no, we have a good team, and let's be confident for the sake of confidence in America. We got this.
So. Okay, I feel like I'm losing a lot of confidence in America in general.
Yeah,
we're gonna try to step away from politics.
Let's step away from that. But
well. Okay, so going back, we've covered football for today. We covered
just a quick cut you off. I was checking the Australian team. Thank God Ben Simmons isn't playing for them, so we're good.
Oh, good. Yeah, we ain't worried about them.
Carry on.
No, just saying we just because not to say we rushed or anything, but just because of the fact that the camera has messed up, we have lost our visuals here. Just a little recap. We covered our fantasy league this year a little bit. We covered some football, the AEW versus NXT. XFL, some NBA as well. I do, before we end up cutting this first episode off, I will say I do want to mention the UFC pay-per-view that just passed, because before it passed, before I forget about it, Nate Diaz coming back after 3 years of being absent to beat Anthony Pettis.
And say everybody else sucked. That's why
Yeah,
he
pretty
didn't come.
decisively too, saying he hasn't fought just because everyone else has pretty much sucked, and then calling out how do you say his name? It's Mastival. Jorge? Is it Jorge Mastival?
I think it's Jorge, but I'm not sure. Is
Mastival. It's we're butchering that probably. Either way, the dude ended up kneeing. Oh dang! What is that guy's name? What's that other dude's name?
If you're not a UFC fan,
Ben Askren.
Saw the 5-second knee to the face, game over.
Yeah,
like you saw that. So that's
I don't even know if it was 5 seconds, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that
shit was like a millisecond. It was bad. Dude just literally charged across the octagon, knees Ben Askren in the face, and it's a done deal.
Night. That was it.
Yeah, it was insane. And Nate Diaz comes back and calls him out of all people. So I love Nate. I hated Nate during the Conor stuff just because I liked Conor.
Hated Nate for the same reason you like Conor.
Yeah,
they're both assholes.
But it's different. And also,
Stipe, shout out to Cleveland,
yeah,
CLE.
Cleveland. He finishes DC in the 4th round, winning the World Heavyweight title for the 2nd time.
Thank God. I'm not a DC fan, guys.
He's a weird one. I hated him because of John Jones, and then as watching DC throughout the past few years, I started liking him as a person.
Oh, well, yeah.
Super humble, nice guy.
That's my problem. In sports, I'm not a super humble, nice guy fan.
Yeah,
I love Russell Westbrook, because if Russell Westbrook dunks on you, you will know.
Yeah, for sure.
And guys like Nate Diaz, other people like that, if they beat your ass, I want you to know you got your ass whooped.
Yeah.
So those guys, and DC's not going to do that. DC will calmly whoop your ass and tell you good job. No.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good job.
He's on the verge of retiring. He said he posted something on Instagram saying that he was very apologetic to his family, his friends, his coaches, his team, and said that he's now going to decide what he wants to do. So
yeah, I'd run
that's
from John Jones too.
Well, I don't think he has to run anymore. He done lost twice.
Speaking of that,
John Jones and Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
What is Brock? No, sir.
Yeah, thing is, Brock did not look good against Mark Hunt when they fought at UFC. I don't even know what that was. UFC 200, I think, and he didn't look great in that fight. He looked scared and timid to get hit. He had to take Mark Hunt down and hold him down in order to do anything. John Jones would absolutely dissect that man, and it'd be bad. Like I was telling Ethan the other day, I'm actually super excited for. Well, not super excited because it may not ever happen. Vince McMahon's most definitely going to try to get his hands on Cain Velasquez. If he's professional wrestling, and he actually did have a bad showing in his first match, teaming up with Cody Rhodes and I think another guy. I don't even know what company they were fighting under, but he did not look bad. And if Vince can get his hands on him, and Vince, he'll be like, "Oh, Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez in the WWE ring, a rematch." If he can, he will 110%.
For sure, and he's got the money, so I see that as almost a guarantee thing.
Yeah. Kane's. If Kane wants to, he can be in the WWE as fast as humanly possible, and it's kind of
from name value alone.
Oh yeah. And something to just mention that too. Did you see the picture? I'm actually curious about this. Did you see the picture of Ronda Rousey's finger?
No, what happened to it?
Son.
Is it one of those things that I didn't like?
Oh, it's absolutely disgusting.
Okay, so I'm going to cringe.
I'm about to show you a picture of it. It's nasty, man.
Bodor nearly severed finger. Don't want to watch it.
It's not a video. It's not a video.
I see that.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Apparently, I'm guessing shooting a gun. Something had to do with a gun, I think. It's almost off her fucking hand.
Yeah, we're not going to post this picture for you guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely disgusting. Yeah. So I don't know what that means for anything. I mean, obviously, I guess they can reattach it. So I guess she has a future and some stuff. But that looked disgusting. It looked so bad. Real bad. But yeah, I'm excited to see what Kane can do in a wrestling ring. What Brock and John Jones maybe could do. Because, DC and Brock was the thing that was supposed to happen. And something happened with that.
I wouldn't mind seeing it simply because it's something to draw a crowd.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I have no faith in Brock Lesnar whatsoever.
No,
Like,
not
no.
at all. That fight's not good for him. And also just because we're mentioning some things before we wrap up, also excited to see AEW's pay-per-view coming up with CM Punk he is going to be signing autographs in Chicago for AEW.
Interesting.
Very. People have called out saying that that's just it's a ploy. He's going to wrestle or something's going to happen. He's kind of denying.
Please.
He's kind of denying it, saying blah blah blah. But he also has been leaving the option open in interviews lately. So it's super exciting to see what could happen there too. I'm expecting him to at least jump in the ring and GTS somebody.
Yeah, and that would be
Enough.
Absolutely awesome.
It'd be enough to make most people shit their pants. I mean, we'd freak out about it.
Sure.
I mean, insane.
So, any more news?
That's what I'm trying to do. Just kind of think of anything else we could have missed. I mean, we're going to cover more of the fantasy league whenever we actually start doing our weekly matchups against each other.
We just don't really want to bore you guys with
like, oh, I have this player, I have this player, you know.
Because and not saying bore you, fantasy's not boring. There's fantasy podcasts out there, local ones. Shout out David Wiggins. Shout out Matthew Harper. There's podcasts for that.
Yeah.
That's not what we are. So like not knocking you guys at all. That's awesome, and we've listened to y'all show, and but no, that's not. You know, we're not going to try to bore you guys with I had pick 1, pick 2, whatever. But we are going to update you guys throughout the season, more or less, because we talk shit. So if I win, I want everybody in my fantasy league and everybody that I don't know to know that I'm winning.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to bring out that. Also, to kind of reach on the people we're going to try to meet with, we're going to try to cover high school sports, which is something that we don't keep up with at all. And I'm going to try to start doing that and hopefully be able to reach out to a couple of high school athletes and coaches and get that in here just to give them, I mean, we don't have a big platform right now, but to give them a platform of some kind to say or put out any kind of comments.
I think that's a void. I think that's something missing from a lot of things. I don't see,
especially here.
Yeah, for sure. I don't see a lot of
Aaron's Aces on the news, but I mean,
and that's not even. I mean, it's cool and it's awesome that they're doing that, but to give them a voice, something to talk on, something to express where they may want to go, or just their everyday life as being an athlete.
And guys, if any of you guys listen, like, of course, this isn't a big platform right now. It's a platform, period. So you have to look at the positives of that, and we want to keep it. Like, if it becomes a big platform, or even just big in the area, 1,000 people. We're not going to stop, and say, oh, well, we had, we let a high school kid talk about where he wanted to go to college at 100 viewers. Now that we have 1,000, we're going to cut them off. No, we're not going to do that. We want everyone to be able to say what they want to say on the podcast, regardless of the level that you're at, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're going to definitely try to do that. I'm going to try to get more into the local high school sports around here. Other than, our alma mater, which you have nothing to talk about yours because they suck.
I have no idea what that even means.
The alma mater is where you graduated.
From Forest?
Yeah, so nothing to talk about there. Forest.
What about them? I think they won
they're
some
actually
stuff.
really good at baseball. Shockingly enough, Class B baseball.
They had a good baseball team.
I take that back. I'm sorry. They're really good at baseball.
Our softball girls wasn't bad when I went. I'm not sure what's happening now.
A long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening now.
But we're going to try to touch on that. Definitely a couple of local business owners. Restaurants, hair, barbershops.
Which we covered most of that.
DJs, just kind of reiterating, and that's
I guess that's about it. I mean, we also the music clips that we've thrown in there. I do music on the side. Or I wouldn't say on the side. Yeah. I'll put links. I'll put my links for the new track. Fuck, I'm getting all tongue tied trying to talk about music. Oh my god. But I'll put some links to the new songs we've dropped and stuff like that in the bio, or not the bio, the description of the video.
What about that track we just recorded yesterday?
You want to put some of that out? I wish I would have saved it because I didn't.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, actually, and unfortunately, I was cleaning out my laptop the other day. And Shadow, I know you're going to listen. I imagine you should.
We're name dropping now. We're giving too much.
I was cleaning out my laptop and found the old Shadow recording.
Yeah, Shadow. We might have to throw that on there. Oh,
because I cleaned out the whole laptop.
What a friend you have. Because that's something that if I got my hands on.
I was gonna keep it on there, and then I had to clean off the whole laptop in order to get enough room to I'm just trying to factory. Pointless conversation. Trying to factory reset the laptop. Blah blah blah. Yeah. But also I will point out it's not on video anymore. Devin has almost finished his first glass of wine. Ree from Ree's River Rats came in earlier, finished 2 glasses. I'm about on glass 4, and bottle's almost empty, and you've got your tongue wet.
Look, man. Actually, it's rather dry. No, we're trying to get into wine. This is more of a me thing. They're just alcoholics. But
I'll take that.
I'm trying to get into wine, and to figure out what you like, you gotta try everything. And
that's true.
What is it?
Barefoot.
Sweet red blend from Barefoot. Not a huge fan. So the next bottle probably won't be that, but there will be a next bottle. So
that's the important part. And before we wrap up, again, I know this is like the 10th time we've tried to. I will mention 2 more little things here. We do in the future. We will be doing prediction videos for different things. Maybe weekly football. I know for sure. I want to do prediction videos for or sections of our show for wrestling events, like I used to do on my old channels. And we
definitely
also
basketball. I'll definitely touch on.
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And just also we're going to be incorporating a ton of small little activities throughout the show, especially once we get this video footage and stuff
what I wanted to do, and I'm glad you mentioned that because it slipped my mind. So, again, another little idea I got from the Lighthearted Podcast by Josh Hart and his friend. I think they call him Matty Ice. I'm sorry for the disrespect there, but
that's what they call Matt Rond.
Yeah, well, I think that's what they call him too. Matt something. Anyway, they do a 10 questions for their viewers. I mean, their guests at the end of the show. It's like 10 random questions, and I just kind of want to do something like that when we have guests. That'd be super dope.
Yeah.
But just to kind of give an insight to our viewers, a little bit of a difference. Viewers or listeners, since we clearly screwed up on the video, but kind of the same thing to get y'all a piece of who we are. So I was going to give him a little second while I ask him 5 questions. I want 5 random questions about himself. And while he's answering, he could think of 5 for me to answer, just give y'all a little insight on us. There's 5 completely random questions.
Okay.
And
this is out of nowhere on me. I got to think of 5 questions.
This
okay.
is out of nowhere
Wonderful.
on him. So
I'm excited.
And I had thought about it. Now I will be honest with you guys. I thought about it and forgot and didn't get any questions. But it's something that I just want to do that'll give everyone kind of an insight.
Oh, I thought are you asking me them now?
Right now.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay, so this is happening.
Yeah,
all right. Interesting.
Now.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's just, like I said, 5 random questions. So
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm throwing this on him without any heads up at all, guys. So just bear with us.
I'm more nervous about having to think of 5 questions to ask you.
It's nerve-wracking, but I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
So, what was your favorite game as a child?
Okay.
Any kind of game, whether it's card games, video games, hopscotch, Red Rover.
Favorite?
Red Rover?
Yeah. So you're talking about just in general.
Any kind of game that you play.
Is trampoline wrestling a game?
Definitely is.
Is it a game?
Yeah, I trampoline wrestled.
I would say my favorite thing as a kid. I was actually quite the teenager during the years.
Guys,
that's not crazy.
No, guys, I'm gonna pry. I'm gonna pry after this pod, and see if we can please put a link in the bio.
They're there. There's like 4 different videos. I watched them the other day.
Link in this bio to this podcast for the IWA, correct?
Yeah, IWA, Independent
YouTube.
Wrestling Alliance, Insane Wrestling Association. We went through multiple names.
So I'm gonna try after this pod to get that link for you guys, but that'll be some enjoyable content for sure.
Yeah, that's embarrassing. I jump off a storage building, and hold my nose as if I was going swimming, diving into a swimming pool.
Like I said, guys, I'm hoping we can throw this to you guys because you may like that video better than anything
that we've said.
So far.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say, I mean, I was a teenager for the most part during a lot of those years, but I'd say my favorite thing to do, the thing that took most of my time and that I enjoyed, was fake owning a professional trampoline wrestling association with my boy Austin Holland. Shout out to Austin Holland, Andrew Layton, all my wrestling buddies, Tyler Moody.
Okay, so question 2.
Yeah.
What food do you crave most often?
Alcohol. Can you what?
No, sir.
Food.
Food.
Okay,
yes,
I thought you meant anything.
I covered earlier.
What food do I crave the
Him
most?
And our studio technician Ree of Ree River Rats, definitely alcoholics. There's no simple way to put that.
I'm actually texting my boy Jacob right now about his sobriety.
It's something you need to reach.
Yeah, something I would like to.
So shout out Jacob if you are being sober.
Not to call him out, maybe his lack thereof at this point. That's what the conversation's about.
Don't stray
just
too
kidding,
far.
just
Don't
kidding.
stray too far
I'm
from
just
the
kidding.
question.
Favorite food, the food that I crave the most. That's interesting. Wow. That's a hard question, random, because I eat almost fucking everything.
Oh yeah, you do.
Well, let's not fucking. I mean, let me just try to say like what restaurant that eventually I
That's
sit there
fair.
and say that I need to have.
That's fair.
Actually, Mexican food. I'm sorry, Mexican food is my
Mexican
favorite
food.
food. I like at least need to have some type of taco once a week. It almost seems like Taco Tuesday's my shit.
So question 3: what makes you the angriest, or what is your biggest pet peeve? I guess those would be the same thing.
Yeah, my biggest pet peeve. It's not really a pet peeve on other people. I would say just not being able to escape fully.
That is on other people, but also yourself.
Not being able to.
Some insight on him. He's the type of guy that wants to be alone but invites people over.
It's weird. It's a weird thing. Not being able. Biggest pet peeve basically is my own. Like you said, myself, my own creativity problems. Not even writer's block, just choices.
Okay, so let me question.
That's
4.
depressing.
What is more important to you, truth or happiness?
Truth.
So you would rather be told something that upsets you as long as it was honest?
Yeah,
I agree with you
100%. I'd like to get away from whatever negativity it would be.
And this last question I'm stealing directly from Josh's podcast. 'Cause
Okay.
I know you haven't watched it.
I
And
sure
this
haven't.
question is going to be tough for you.
Okay.
If your life was a book, what would be the name of the current chapter you're in?
The current chapter I'm in.
The current chapter of the life of Nick Adams. What's the name of that chapter?
Sheesh. The
I
current
really
chapter.
like that question when Josh and them ask it. So it's a really
The current chapter's name would be Wasted Potential.
Already? You're 26.
Yeah, man. That's
Or maybe the downhill slide.
well, my anxiety and the way I think about things, I really put things in time perspective. The intro track to Mixed Intentions talks about me wanting to have a lot of things done by the age of 25 like my dad. So I would say a lot of things should have been done by now. I do have a lot of time to do things, but I feel like there's been a lot of, or maybe just time wasted, something similar to that. Just a lot of time wasted.
Okay.
Something like that.
Good. I like it.
Yeah, man. Now I have to come up with 5 questions out of my asshole.
Well,
You
you
have-
have Google, my friend.
No, we don't need that. We're gonna
Well, I Googled some of mine.
Well, I don't have that courtesy of knowing that was something we were doing.
Yeah, I did throw that on you.
Okay, I'm gonna say some just try to think off the top of my head some questions that I really would have for you. Something that I don't think I've talked to you about and things like that. So, well, yeah, I know, but let's start with question number 1. What is the main reason, or what's the reason you enjoy basketball? Like, is it to get you away from? Is that your stress reliever,
100%,
or is that just something you have fun
and
with?
That's exactly where I was going to go with it. As a kid, playing, at first I sucked.
Mm-hmm.
And at first I started playing the game because there's something in me that I don't want anyone to be better than me at something that I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you're better than me at football, that's fine because I don't play football.
Yeah.
But at that point in my life, which I'm over that now, but at that point in my life, if I was trying to do it and you were better than me, I had to buckle down and do it. And then it just became something that, I mean, not to dive into it, but like rough childhood kind of.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, for sure.
So to escape all of that, go outside, pick up the ball. It's just me and the hoop, and for hours and hours, that's my escape, like you said. And then through high school, I was a little prick, I guess, because
remember
of the
him.
rough brown. Yeah, you remember that. But because of the rough upbringing, like, I was just kind of like, if it's not my way, it's the highway. So whenever I just needed to escape, yeah, man, I just hit the gym, and it was my little thing. And now I'm just old, so when I hit the gym, it's more of like a damn job. My legs hurt, my body hurts. It's still so fun. I try to go play as much as I can, but shit, 24 feels 44 on me.
I'm sure it does. Oh yeah, imagine how it feels on me. Way less athletic.
I try to get you to the gym sometime.
I'll get back there. Me and Ree talked about it today.
Oh, now they ain't got gout foot.
Now that he ain't got no gout.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good answer. Question 2 is still in its creation stages.
I think you slapped some Google on there. I have some questions here if you'd like to.
No, I don't want to use those. It's fully me. What is, or can you tell me why, or who is your favorite musical artist? I think I know two that I would say is between, but I want you to pick one and tell me why.
Easy.
Okay.
Russ.
Okay.
Russ,
Over
easy.
Tekashi.
Over Tekashi.
Okay.
Just because free 6ix9ine, by the way. If you don't agree with that, I apologize for your different views.
Yeah.
Free 6ix9ine. But
Yeah.
no, Russ for sure. Just because the variation, man. Like a bunch of people don't fuck with Russ because, I mean, they have different reasons, but the love songs, a lot of people don't fuck with that. If you look at the whole catalog, that's not all it is. And his fans are built fans, not bought fans. He that's 10 years grinding. I mean, I'm reiterating plenty of things he's said himself, but yeah, I like to come up on your own type thing.
I definitely think a lot of people don't like him simply because of he's self-made and lets you know that he's self-made.
Oh yeah, and I appreciate that.
That's
too.
the 100%. A lot of the reason, like he's cocky about it because he should be. And I think people just like that.
If you're doing your shit and you're on your shit and you're the best of your shit, man, then talk your shit.
Yeah,
like,
exactly, 100%. Okay. Question number 3. Also going to be in the creation stages until we get there. You had some pretty easy ones on yours, so let me think of something here. What is well, you named your favorite podcast and stuff, right?
I don't have a favorite podcast.
You don't have one that actually stands out?
I like different podcasts. I like listening to different podcasts because every podcast is different. It's who you are that's talking. So you're going to get something different from every podcast. And that's what I like about podcasts in general. So I wouldn't say I have a favorite.
Have a favorite, okay. Is that question 3? Or is that just a
we'll
bill?
say that's question 3.
We'll say this.
Favorite podcast, don't have one.
Yeah, don't have one. All right. The Dirty Pelican Podcast.
Oh, yeah. No. Scratch that.
Yeah,
the Dirty
there you
Pelican Podcast is by far.
Okay. Question 4. Question 4 here. What is your favorite soda?
Oh, shit.
My dad's calling me right now. We're not going to let him on the pod. We're going to just ignore him for now. Favorite soda. You love soda?
I'm a soda stan. So, damn.
I like the M&M usage. I like that.
I am a huge soda drinker, which recently, I don't think I told you that, I've cut back a lot.
Well, you quit one time.
I quit for a month just to prove I could. Again, the thing that, like, if you say I can't,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
yes, I can.
Yeah.
But, no, I've cut back a lot, but I think, honestly, if I have all the sodas in the world, cold, just sitting there, and I can grab one to enjoy,
Yeah.
I'm going to grab a Coca-Cola.
Just a fresh...
A regular old
You
Coca-Cola.
do drink them probably the most, I would say.
There is not many things that rival an ice cold Coke.
An ice cold Coke.
Especially the ones like you just wake up and so you can feel it cold going down and hit your stomach. It's cold. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
I love soda.
Contain yourself.
I love soda.
Contain yourself a little bit. All right, question number 5. The final question is going to be almost stealing from yours.
That's fine.
But since I enjoy music, do some music, what would the name of the song be? The current chapter of life that you're in right now?
I like that.
Or maybe the album title. Something like that. Song, album title, something like that.
Especially recently. It knocked
some trials and
down.
tribulations.
Yeah, definitely. So I would say right now, I'm digging out of that hole that I dug.
Mm-hmm.
I just say grinding, I guess.
Grinding.
Man, like, you know, it feels like the world's on your shoulders and you're just fucking nutting up and shutting up
Mm-hmm.
and getting out of the situation that you're in. So yeah, just grinding.
Just grinding. So that means we need to get the booth hooked up, drop a beat, and get grinding.
And with that, we're going to come to a close. Appreciate anybody who listens. And like we said,
I think this has been like an hour and a half or more.
Please bear with us with the difficulties we had. It's our first one. And literally, guys, yesterday, everything worked fine. And today, everything wants to throw us a curveball. So hoping y'all feel like we knocked it out of the park, or at least like a triple, something.
Maybe just hopefully y'all will listen to the next one.
Definitely. Just bear with us. It's going to improve. We appreciate anybody who does listen. Also, we have our email link to like basically every social media account. You can message us on there. Any feedback is welcome.
All suggestions, anybody who wants to just be on the show. I mean, anything y'all want to do, just hit us up. Let us know what y'all want to hear. Maybe some more sports or different things you want us to, touch up on next time. If you have any athletes or other people to,
if you
suggest.
Yourself or someone who wants to use this platform to say whatever you want to say, dude. Like, or
let's grow together.
I like
110%.
That. Let's grow together. That's the Dirty Pelican Podcast motto. We have to throw that in our bios if we have enough characters left.
And then as soon as we end,
Oh yeah, you did. He did.
What does a pelican sound like?
I don't know. Do they make sounds? They've got to make sounds.
Sure, they have to make a sound.
This is what we're gonna do. Hit them a little closing out on top of what we did, and I'm gonna find a pelican noise.
On top of what we did.
On top of what we did. I'm sorry. I'm going to hurry. Just hit me with something.
Yeah, I mean, So, yeah. I did enjoy the little 5-question thing. I wish I'd have been a little bit more prepared. I could think some more in-depth things. I'll enjoy doing that to new people that come onto the show.
Okay, guys. I hope this is going to be a pelican sound. If it isn't,
We're not saying another word after this.
Yeah, this is it.
Goodbye and thank you.
Goodbye, thank you, and we will grow together.
Oh, we like that.